On this Tenkara Angler Rod Report, we're going to look at the Tenkara USA Hane. All right, today we are going to look at the Tenkara USA Hane. When this rod came out in 2018, Tenkara USA dubbed it their adventure rod. Their goal was to make a rod that collapsed down to be compact enough to take pretty much anywhere, but robust enough to be able to handle any sort of species one might encounter as well. It's definitely an interesting rod, and pack rods are super popular today. So I thought it would be a good idea to take a look at it and kind of revive some of the specs for those that are not familiar. So going over what you get when you buy a Tenkara USA Hane, you obviously get a rod. It comes with a typical Tenkara USA rod tube, but it is quite a bit shorter. Also comes with this stretchy rod sock, which is popular. So it makes it a really compact package, as I mentioned, for traveling or basically seeking out any sort of adventure. Just to compare the Hane to some other rods, this is the Tenkara USA Iwana, which is their standard 12-foot rod. This is how the Hane compares in length when you kind of put them, on top of each other. Additionally, there's lots of other pack rods out there. And when collapsed, the Hane is about 15 inches long. And to give you an idea what that looks like, here is the Dragon Tail Kaida, a similar pack rod. It's, as you can see, the Hane is just a touch shorter than that, as well as the Shimano Pack Tenkara rod. And you can see those two rods are about the same as well, the Hane being, a touch shorter. Getting into the specifications of the Hane, it is, when fully extended, a 330 centimeter rod, which makes it 10 feet, 10 inches long. It's 12 sections. That's basically necessary to make it collapse down so small. It has a foam grip handle that is about 8 inches in length and 3.3 inches in circumference around. It's really quite a attractive rod when you look at it cosmetically. I don't know how well it comes out on the camera, but the paint job on the Hane is this pearl white color. It gives a bit of iridescence to it, actually, as a matter of fact. And all the sections, when you take the cap off, are this similar pearl white until you get to the end section. The tip section is, I guess, the standard darker graphite color. Actually, I guess it's the last two. No, yes, it's the last two sections. The tip section and section number 2 are the standard graphite color. It does have a Lillian, and with most, I think all Tenkara USA rods these days, the Lillian does come, knotted on the end. The cosmetics, as I mentioned, are really pretty. There's a pearl white rod, looks really great. Cosmetics on the rod itself are really clean. Then there's this bicolor cork handle with a gray kind of middle to it, and then a top and bottom in black. And I know you probably won't be able to make this out on the camera, so I'll probably have to do a still shot. But there is like an etching of a Kabari and the Tenkara USA logo, in the foam handle. As far as the characteristics of the rod, I already mentioned that it is a 330 centimeter long rod, which is about 10 feet, 10 inches. Other things that are interesting to note, it weighs, as I put it on the postal scale, it weighs 102 grams, which is 3.6 ounces, which is neither heavy nor light. It's probably somewhere in between, maybe a little bit heavy for a rod that's this size. But it's not unwieldy by any stretch of the imagination. Its common sense score is 27 pennies, which basically means it takes 27 pennies to bend this rod a third of its length. And its rod flex index is 8.2, which would make it a 7.3 flex fast action tip flex rod. In terms of performance, the Hane is a very, I'd say, balanced all-around rod. As I mentioned in the beginning of this report, Tenkara USA's goal was to make this their adventure rod. So, I would not compare this to the finest, lightest, trout, delicate rods that are out there, nor is it quite the bruiser of some of those really heavy, big, warm water fixed line rods, but it falls somewhere in between. You could probably also notice, I pulled up another rod as an example before. I'll just pull it up again. Here is the Iwana rod, and here is the Hane. You can kind of make it out a little bit. Because the rod is so short, the bottom section down by the handle is quite a bit thicker. I'm sure that is built in there, obviously to hold all the sections, but obviously to make it quite a bit more robust. I'd also note that the cap that comes with it as such is quite a bit larger, thicker in diameter. So if you are one of those people that like to buy universal caps for your rod, you're probably going to have to get the biggest one that you can find to fit around the diameter or the circumference of the Hane section. I fished the Hane a little bit with both a 3.5 level line as well as a 12-foot furled line. I found it likes both, equally well. It's not the most delicate casting rod, but it does really well if you put, anywhere from a weightless Kabari on there, all the way up to like a beadhead woolly bugger, if you so choose. It's able to handle those, both relatively well. I haven't spent a whole lot of time with the Hane yet. So what we basically did on Tenkara Angler is we got a bunch of different folks to give us their feedback on their performance or how they think the Hane performs, what they like and what they don't like. So please make sure to visit our Hane review or rod report on tenkaraangler.com. I'll put the link to that article in the YouTube video description. If you're interested in purchasing the Hane, Tenkara USA lists it on their website as of this recording at $160. We'll put a link to it in the description on the video below. We also have a gear shop on tenkaraangler.com where we list a whole lot of compact rods. So if you want to see what all of the assortment could potentially be for rods in this class, you can check out our gear shop on Tenkara Angler as well. Well, thanks for watching our rod report on the Tenkara USA Hane. If you enjoyed this, we would really appreciate it if you would like this video, subscribe to our channel, and click that little bell for notifications. It'll just let us know that you appreciate what we're doing, and it'll give us the motivation to make more of these rod reports. Thank you for your time today, and good luck on the water.